What is up? It's your boy, the Canologist. We're back doing another episode of Code Study Session, OSRS AFK training. Doing steel bars. I just sold a batch of steel bars for near 4 mil. So we're literally about to hit. By the end of this inventory, I should hit what's called 59 smithing. Basically, my whole plan is to keep reinvesting the profits back into smithing so I could just double my money. Because right now I have about 4 mil worth of steel bars in the bank, 8K bars. And that's going to be basically what I use to buy shit. Okay, file servers. What are we doing here? One sec, let me get a Red Bull. Actually, let's get water for now. Sweet. Okay, so file servers. Kind of simple web server that serves static files for the host machine. Okay. File servers are often used to serve static assets from websites. So file servers. Static files from the host machine. Okay, let's see the assignment. Go library, standard library, super easy to build. Okay. Simple file server, build and run a file server that serves a file called index.html from its root localhost. Okay. That file should contain a welcome to Chirpy. Okay, add the HTML code above in a file called index.html. Okay, so let's open up VS Code. We're going to create a file called index.html, and it's going to serve this file in the same root directory as your server. Okay. Copy this, paste it, save it. Use the new mux's handle method to add a handler for the root path. So handler method. So this is the mux, new server mux, handler method. Listen and serve, new server mux. New serve mux's handle method. So this is serve mux. Where do we do this? Dot handle method. To add a handler for the root path. Okay. I get why we're doing that, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay. Add a handler for the root path. This is a handler. So I could go http.handle, I guess. Like this is listening and serving. So now we go underneath. Mux.handle. Okay, so this will be mux. Look at that new serve mux here. Handle func. This is the root path. Use a standard HTTP file server as the handler. Use a standard HTTP file server. What's that? HTTP handle or HTTP handle func. And that's fine. HTTP file server FS. Any other path. HTTP file server as the handler. Okay, so that's basically this. FS is HTTP file server, HTTP dir as the file path. In our case, a dot, which indicates the current directory, to a directory for the HTTP file server. Okay, so we'll use a standard file server as a handler. Oh, HTTP file server, and then HTTP dir. Okay. HTTP file server, HTTP dir. So that's the file system handler. Or file server as the handler. Let's see, rebuild and run your server. Handler for the root path. Okay, so let's try it. Undefined server mux. Serve mux. Handle. Dot handle. The handler is usually nil, which means to use the default. But in this case, we're going to use this directory, the dot. And this is our handler with the file server, and then directory for the current directory, which is the root directory. And that's the current root directory. Okay, cool. That looks like it should work. Let's try rebuilding it. It should be go build o out. And run the file output. So one builds, rebuilds the file, and then one runs the file and run. So rebuild and run basically is what you're telling it to do, all in one step. So if we go back to the next lesson, rebuild and run. So this is rebuilding and running. So go build o out to rebuild and run. So let me write that down in my notes. We also got to make sure we're still smithing, otherwise it's going to log out. Okay, let's run that. So go build O out and run, rebuild and run the code. Okay. So now let's actually run the code. So I wrote down the notes for it. So go build O out. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like the server is running. There's no error message. The second thing I got to do is check localhost. 44 page not found. Optionally your CLI. Expecting code 200. Welcome to Chirpy. HTTP. You register the handler after starting the server. Why? What does that mean? Oh, you have to do this within... Oh, okay. So I fire the server after. Okay, what if I just replace this? Okay, so I got this. X. Let's register my handler first. And then let's try and run it. Is a valid index HTML. This is the index HTML file. Main.go fs listen and serve http dir file serve handler handle fs dir, and yeah, I have all the right code. It was just that I executed it after I ran the server. I have to run it before I do the server. So let's do that. That should run actually. Welcome to Chirpy. Perfect. Okay. And then let us do this. 200. Yep. Welcome to Chirpy. So I am getting the correct value, so I could submit this. Blessed. So now we can kill this and commit. What the fuck is that sound? Perfect. So the code was correct. It was just the execution of the code. You want to execute your commands before you run the server. If you want to register handlers and functions, because now the server's already running and then it's supposed to register. So that's why there was an error. Otherwise it was correct. Let's go over some of the code that we used for our simple file server. Make sure we understand the nuts and bolts. So, consider this is the code from the main function and answer the questions. So address and port. So we want this to be configurable. Mux is whatever we call mux. So basically, I also want to go back and note down my code from here. Which is the creating a server. Creating a server struct. Address, let's say handler. I could even just call it mux, honestly. Like, what do they call it here? Just mux. It's a lot simpler that way, so that way I understand what's going on as well. Let's go back to OSRS. This kind of just keeps me alert at all times because I have to keep checking the screen. So I'm also aware of the time I'm spending, which is why I'm near the 29-minute mark. So I guess for the next one, we will do it in a separate video. Listen and serve. And yeah, I think now we're good enough to go to the next. Now we can answer actual questions, but we'll do that in the next video, so stay tuned. You can all just like, comment, subscribe, put your suggestions in the video.